Emotional regulation is one of the most important tools we can help a student learn. As the term describes, it is the ability to manage one's emotions appropriately so that we can continue to function in our daily routines. We can begin to work on emotional regulation as young as 3. When it comes to evaluating where a student is currently at in this area, one of the first questions I like to ask is whether the student understands emotions. If we are unsure, a simple test we can do is to grab some emotions visuals and ask the student questions like, which child is happy? Or, point to the child who is angry. Or, how's this child feeling? If the student can answer these correctly, I then probe further by using hypothetical scenarios through pictures, videos, or simply a verbal description. For example, I could ask, if a child falls and hurts his leg, how do you think you would feel? Or, if you received a present from your parents, how would that make you feel? If a student can answer these questions, we can make them more difficult by asking an open-ended question. For example, what makes you feel happy? Or, when was the last time you were angry? Here are some examples of hypothetical scenarios. Depending on where their student is at, I would start at that level and work my way up building those skills. If a student is fairly impacted, then we may need to start with the basics of teaching primary emotions such as happy, mad, and sad. You can use videos and pictures of the child or other people to model to him or her these emotions. For example, if the child is smiling, I would say, "You have a smile," and model that emotion. "I think you must be happy," and point to the visual happy. If a student understands basic emotions, I would evaluate his or her understanding of other emotions such as worried, frustrated, confused, excited, upset, and other higher level emotions. It's not unusual for me to set a goal where a student expands his or her understanding of new emotions. Following this, I would then support the student in developing calming activities in each category of emotions. You can use programs such as the zones of regulation to support you in this, or simply categorize emotions into basic color-based categories. Here are different examples of doing so. Once we have done this, we can begin to help the student develop regulatory or calming strategies in each category. It is important to note that regulatory strategies are also important even when the student is feeling good and happy, because we want to help the student remain in this area most of the time. Strategies can include sensory regulatory activities, thinking strategies such as counting down and deep breathing, and cognitive strategies. I usually start exploring sensory regulatory and thinking tools with a student before cognitive ones. Please refer to the videos on sensory regulatory and cognitive strategies for more information on what these are. Lastly, once strategies have been developed, help the student implement these strategies to manage his or her emotions. This can be done through visuals and a reward system. Here's an example of a toolbox of calming strategies that were used to manage the emotion of anger and frustration. Each time the student used the toolbox to calm down, he earned a tool reward. It is important to note that rewards can be tangibles or intangibles, such as praise and social recognition.